So I'm Michael Bouteloup, this is Tim Dayborn from Bourke and Bouteloup. And Boots Lake Park Changing Places facility is what we've got to present as small. So, kick off. Yep.
Go for it.
It's Edwards Lake Park's up in Preston, City of Darebin, lots of public facilities including the track, some historical buildings. The building we're replacing is this existing sort of decrepit toilet, and it's adjacent an existing playground which has some all abilities play equipment.
So the facility itself, as opposed to the existing kind of rundown, shackled toilet block which had the female, the male, the disabled, and with the bars and the windows, with the walking into the brick kind of foyer, which you don't know but you're going to get behind with a whole lot of safety issues, we're trying to open it up. So we've got an ambulant toilet, an accessible toilet to all gender cubicles, and also a changing places facility.
So the changing places facility, if you are not aware of their 2012, was it?
Yeah, so they started in Australia in 2012. They're just they're basically a higher grade accessible toilet to allow people with high levels of disability to go to the public and go to places out further from their home which they wouldn't otherwise able to go, because they've started putting them in shopping centres, sports stadiums, public parks, right across the country and right across the world really. So they have an adult change table, a shower, a ceiling hoist that goes across, and a couple of different things to allow people with high level of disability, if they have an accident or if they need to use the toilet, they've got somewhere to go, whereas previously they might be changing on the floor and the concrete in the disgusting public toilets. So it's just a...
and they're usually registered users who have their own key, and their carer goes with them.
This is the before and after really. This is an existing accessible toilet which is really rough and ready. It was just really cold feeling, it felt like you're in a kind of prison cell, it just really didn't celebrate, it was this typical public toilet which doesn't, you think it's going to be a dirty place to go there, and therefore it is a dirty place, whereas if it feels warm and feels inviting, feels comfortable, then it doesn't necessarily, just because it's a public toilet, it doesn't need to be dirty and grim.
So it's a sort of 70s or 80s thing, quite dodgy. I guess there's a bit of crime that occurs around there. There's a lot of people that sort of loiter and drink and sleep in the park. But the idea was that we would, rather than create a front and back of the building, we're building it in and around, if you like. It's one that you experience as you move around peripatetically. It has no front, has no back. It's kind of an all-around building. We're also, there are these logical kind of view lines which align with trees and through the site. So we started to carve up the object so that we're setting up views of those significant trees, so that the building starts to get embedded into the landscape.
As Michael was just saying, as you walk around, so there's a park, there's two entrances, there's an athletics track all around, so this is really an object in the middle of all these facilities which will be approached in multiple different ways. So this is approachable, there's 3 different entrances, but every different way you approach from, you get a different encounter, but they all feel warm and inviting from each of them, and they all try to heighten the sense of safety, try to create a sense of visibility of people going to the toilet. So there's no hidey-ways, there's no back of house where you can hide, there's no issues with, you want to feel safe when you go into the public toilet, and creating these views, creating this 360 degree views tries to heighten that sense of safety.
So view lines carved through, just picking out some of the significant trees.
Yeah, so it picks out significant trees, and there's 2 kind of access routes from the street. So as you're walking down this view line here is from the south, so it picks out a significant tree through it. So, but also in there you can see the hand washing basins and the disabled drink taps as well. So those kind of facilities that are used more often when you're washing your hands, or they're the most visible thing in the facility to encourage their use by passers-by, but also to encourage the safety of the users.
So that's what it was before?
Yeah, so that's what it was before, with kind of a front, 2 sides, and a real back, which you can't see through at all. And it's replaced with what we've designed with views through to try to embed it further within the park.
And so the yellow was, I guess, partly sort of embeds it. It works with the wattles and well, less the wattle, but the gum trees. We also did some of the landscape, bringing in some of the yellow as well. So it kind of works particularly with the quality of light through the trees there, as well as being a signifier of the space, a warm space.
Yeah. So the yellow was. So as well as being accessible to people with disabilities, such as people in wheelchairs that need to use the change in place or the accessible toilet, we wanted to create a warm and memorable space, because memorable spaces, people with that you can see and feel and touch, spaces that feel unique, often have benefits for people suffering from dementia or people with autism, that will find it a nice memorable space that could potentially calm them or potentially help with the wayfinding and being able to see. So that's why the inclusion of yellow, but also because we just want to make it feel warm and inviting for everyone, and it'll just feel nice and, turn the table on what public toilets are and make it feel highlighted with lots of warm colour.
Yeah, so they're naturally ventilated, these ones.
Sure.
Naturally ventilated with this graded perf and sunlight from above, enhancing the experience.
We also thought about what a public facility is. It's not just a toilet, it is a drink tap. What do the people in the middle of the park need? So it's got the waiting benches for people that can overlook this accessible park whilst the other child might be using the toilet, so without feeling awkward like you're in a lobby waiting for someone to finish the toilet. It's got drink taps, it's got bike hoops, it's got and yeah.
It's right next to the play space on this side.
So yeah, so the all gender toilets are just derived from feeling the feeling of inclusiveness. So no one kind of gets shunned away from your all access, but also all genders. So you don't feel like you're in a awkwardly going to a space, or other people don't feel uncomfortable. And so yeah, the external materials, with the yellow being the internal, highlighting the views again. The external material is recycled black timber battens, which were used as timber purlins in the hard yakka factory, recycled and cut down into battens. So they should naturally grade to blend in with the environment, and then once they do kind of naturally grade, or even now as exposed timber, the yellow and the centre core of the facilities will be highlighted, so the views in will be emphasised to again emphasise the safety.
That's proximity to the park, and I think that's the second last slide.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's the all gender thing emblazoned on the park there.
Yeah,
I guess the object also is it kind of works to sort of collapse. The way it's embedded into the park that has views that projected through it. So there's kind of a collapsing of the relationship with the park. It's an object in the park with a foreground and then the background sort of coming together. So,
Thank you.
but yeah,
That's nice.